Hey there, today we're talking about morning meeting, which I absolutely love. Morning meeting has made such a huge difference just in our classroom community in general, and it's allowed me to really talk to my students about some tricky subjects. So if you are struggling with classroom community, you have students that are fighting with each other, there's drama, anything like that, or you're just not seeing a lot of motivation in your classroom, morning meeting can make a huge difference. So my morning meeting takes about 10 to 15 minutes. It's my favorite part of the day. It gets me excited and motivated and just makes me feel really positive about our classroom. It reminds me of how amazing it is just to be able to have a group of students that you have in your classroom as a community and being able to just have the time to talk to them. And I know that our schedules are really, really stretched thin. And a lot of times we don't have an extra 10 to 15 minutes. But I have to tell you that this 10 to 15 minutes makes a change throughout the day to the point where it is worth it for me. Okay, let's talk about my 3-step morning meeting routine. And if you have done morning meeting and you have something that you absolutely love that I missed in these 3 steps, please let me know in the comments below. I'm always looking to learn new things, but I don't want to overcomplicate it. So this has really just been my very simple 3-step process. And this is how we get it done in time, but also hit those goals that I want to hit for the morning meeting. The first step is really simple. It's just a greeting. A lot of teachers do really fun chants. They get students excited about stuff. I'll do that sometimes, but for me, it's just a really simple greeting like, happy Tuesday, everyone. I hope you had a great day yesterday. Today's going to be an awesome day. We've got some fun things going on. Just greet your students, let them know that you are excited to be there, that you're excited they're there. You could have them all do something like, let me know how you're feeling today. Thumbs up, thumbs down. That's very helpful, to be honest. You could have them do any sort of fun call back to you. This is just something that's really, really quick, less than a minute. And that way your students are all engaged with you and you just have started the meeting. If I notice that my students are really tired and already disengaged and we're just kind of having a rough day in the morning, I'll add something to the greeting that gets them interested, like having them all shout out at the same time their favorite color, their favorite animal. Sometimes I'll do something extra silly, like shout out the animal that scares you the most. For me, it's snakes. Really do not like them. So it's just a way to get them to wake up and get excited and hear what the other students are saying, and also share something personal, because students are always engaged when they're able to share something about themselves. Okay, step 2 in our morning meeting is when we are talking about the juicy stuff. So this is where we're either discussing something as a class, having them turn to partners and discuss something, or having them journal. And I like to mix it up so we're not doing the same thing every time. But what we're doing is we are discussing or journaling about something that's really important. This could be talking about bullying if we're having that issue. If your students are having an issue in the cafeteria, that was always a big one for me, was they were constantly getting in trouble, especially this one year in the cafeteria, not cleaning up their food properly. So this is a time where you can sit down and talk to your students and say like, hey, let's talk about the cafeteria. I want you to journal like 3 things that really bug you about the cafeteria. And a lot of times they include trash and how messy it is and how loud people are. And then we have a discussion as a whole class, like how can we help do our part to make sure things are clean? What is a result of that? So if we make sure things are clean when we leave, that makes it better for the next class, and therefore the next class doesn't have to feel like everything's really disgusting. And it just makes everyone feel better in general. We can also talk about ways that we can talk about this with other classrooms so that we can all work together for the issue. I use this a lot, especially when I'm teaching 5th to 8th grade. We talk a lot about relationships, because you know that there's a lot of struggles with student relationships and a lot of drama. So instead of constantly having to talk to certain students about it and just having this constant nightmare of these situations, we'll take this time to talk about one particular way that students can handle certain situations that we've been having going on. Also talk about how they feel about these situations, just giving them those tools that they need to handle these situations a little better. And especially with things that are going on in school related to bullying and other things like that, this allows for us to really kind of build relationships better and make sure that all students are treating each other with respect. This is also a time when we can talk about an upcoming event. If we have something that's happening in our class, we can talk about it, we can make plans. Everyone can have input in it. If we have things like school dances, we talk about those. We talk about things we're excited about. We can talk about things we're not excited about for the school dance. I always share openly. Like for me, I'm not really. I'm super awkward at dances, and so this is just a chance for us to talk about that, so students know that it's not just them worrying about these things, or it's not just them being excited about these things. So we get a chance to really have some great discussions. So that usually takes the bulk of our time. It's about 8 to 10 minutes, depending on what we're talking about for that day. And sometimes I'll just do it as journaling if it's something that I feel like students really need to reflect on. And step 3 is goal setting. And this is where I'm motivating my students for the day. So individually, my students will have a goal setting sheet, and every day they can write down a goal that they have for the day. We can also make class goals as well if we're working on something together. A lot of times we do project-based learning. If you're interested in using project-based learning, I'll put a link in the description. But what's great about project-based learning is we're actually learning those math, reading, writing, science, social studies skills. We're actually learning those within together and within a real life scenario. And so a lot of times we'll do some goal setting for that. Like today we're working on meeting with the expert that we're talking to, so we can learn a little bit more about how this works in our project, how to format what we're creating for the project. And we could talk about goal setting. Like today we're going to get these 3 things done for that project. If you don't do project learning, it's super simple. You could do something like, today in math, we're going to do math centers. We're going to try to get 3 centers done, and we're going to do this amount of accuracy. Or for your writing block, you can be setting the goal of we're going to be working on thesis today. So we're going to each get three written down and pick 1 thesis to actually put in our writing. It doesn't really matter what type of teaching you do, whether it's whole group, small group, project-based learning, whatever it is, you can set a whole class goal, or you can have students set their individual goals, or you can do both. And you can even use this time to set personal goals that relate to what you talked about. So if you were talking about bullying and or building relationships, or something that students are just really struggling with right now, you can have them just write down a personal, and they don't have to share it or anything, but just a personal goal. Like, I will work to make 1 new friend, or I will talk to somebody who doesn't have somebody sitting next to them today. So these are all just great examples. There's so much that you can do with it. So those are the 3 steps. We always leave the meeting with me telling students that I care about them, that I'm here for them if they need any help, if they have any questions, and that we are a community and we are all here for each other. So this starts our class off in a positive way, then we can go straight into whatever lesson we're working on for that day. So if you're looking for more ideas, please make sure you click the thumbs up to let me know you like this video, and hit subscribe, because every week I'm bringing you free videos and also free resources. Lots of free writing units, test prep units, reading, math, project-based learning, all of these things we talk about on my channel. I like to give free resources out, so you can check out my channel as well and look for some videos that interest you. But also just make sure to subscribe, because then you'll see my new video every Sunday. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing morning meeting with your students and that you have a great week.